Thank you for watching Ben Television. My name is Shaggy Johnson. The program is You Decide, and I'm glad you are watching. At what point does the naming ceremony becomes the controversial issue of the whole world? This is about you got to know, and we have in the studio people who are going to have a kind of discussion. We bring you information, facts, and analysis, but at the end of the day, you decide. I have in the studio all the way from Nigeria, Victor Kenny McCarthy. Kenny, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the program today. Thank you, Dr.
Uh,
Johnson.
yeah, thanks so much. And we have all the way from Milan, Mark Godwin. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Very much, Dr. Shaggy. Good morning to the viewers. It's nice to be here again.
Yes, wonderful day, isn't it?
Yes.
Right here in the United Kingdom, in Peterborough, we have Mazi Gosit Azu. Gustin, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Doc. Good morning. There were no Debigan, the Kamunam, no Munamekalemon, there were no Mamman, Ebolon, no Godan, no one in Ekalemono.
Is that an international language?
That is the Biafran language, which is going to be it's going to be like the Chinese Mandarin. Very soon, everybody will be speaking it.
We shall come to that, and the tea as well. Where the tea comes from, we shall come to that. The last but not the least is our in-house researcher, Nat Iyako. Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning, everybody. We are glad that you are watching us, and we just want to give you information. We'll also give you the facts on the ground and possible analysis of events. But remember, you decide. We congratulate Meghan and Harry on their new baby girl, and somehow the names have been controversial. They gave their baby girl Lilibet, which is the name of the great grandmother, and is a pet name from Elizabeth, Lilibet. And then the name of the grandmother, Diana, and of course the surname Mountbatten Windsor. And these names suddenly become controversial. Why is Doreen not there? Did they take permission from Queen Elizabeth? Why should they use all the names of William's mother? And there's so many controversies. But let me ask our in-house researcher to bring us up to date. Nat, please tell us what's going on.
Okay, thank you very much. As we're all aware, the Lilibet Diana Windsor is the second child for Harry and Meghan, and the names are historical in nature, controversial in nature, and everything about the names are very controversial. I hope the girl will not live to be a controversial person. The next thing we will ask is, what is in a name? A name is used to identify individuals, to make sure that you don't use one name for 2, 3, 4, 5 people. But the interesting thing about Lilibet Diana, Lilibet is the name that made a short form of Elizabeth, but that was the name that the Queen, when she was a baby, was used to call her. And incidentally, Lilibet showed up again on the funeral ceremony of late Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. Many people don't know that the Queen Elizabeth, wrote a handwritten personal letter to Philip and placed it on Philip's coffin on that day that ceremony took place. And so Lilibet's name came out, and it's been on. And so the Harry and Meghan, I think in their heart is a way of trying to reconcile the royal family of Windsor. And they thought, I mean, Harry and Meghan thought this could be a beginning, because if the baby is bearing the name of the great grandmother now, it might start to bring him some healing in the family. But the problem is, will Diana, will Queen Elizabeth and Diana will they ever be reconciled here on earth or in heaven? That is the question.
Thank you very much. So you are trying to say that this Diana name and Lilibet, they're kind of a controversial two names coming together. Let me quickly go to Mark in Milan, because he represents us in the geographical area of Europe. In Europe, especially in France, on dit comment tu t'appelles, that is, what do you call yourself? So what is in the controversy of name once it is what you call yourself? Comment tu t'appelles? Mark.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Shaggy, once again. Yes, with Joy in Europe, we had the news on the 4th of June. 4th of June, Meghan and Harry, Prince Harry, were blessed with the arrival of their daughter. And it was a good news. All over the world, people were happy. But then the controversy on name popped up. But Harry, it was recorded that one time as a young man, when Harry wasn't even married, he promised his grandmother, the queen, that when he gets a daughter, a baby girl, he will name her the grandmother's name. So Harry had said that some papers brought out that memorial speech talk, and that put to rest any controversy that could be coming from the Queen, because the young man has said that a long time ago. So, but we thank God for the good news. What's more important is we are all happy for the family. The child was born healthy, well, and she's doing great. She has all those names. Well, it's like you said, Dr. Shago. It also helps to reconcile whatever beef or whatever animosity that has been brewing around with the two families. We know as Africans, when babies are born, it's a time for reunion. It's a time to forgo every bitterness, every animosity, and just be happy for a new life that has come to earth. So yes, there's a controversy of the name, which it is more on the media. The media is the one really pumping out that controversy. Right with the family, things are settled. He has the right to name his child whatever name he wants to. That's his daughter, and he's also a heir of the throne. So I mean, what else? If you want to name your daughter your mother's name, your grandmother's name, that's wonderful. He even added the grandfather's name. There's a nickname the grandfather is called, Mountbatten.
Mountbatten.
Yeah, Windsor. So it's all nice. This shows that he's still part of them. So we are happy here in this side of Europe. We are all happy. We love.
All right, thank you, thank you, Mazi Godson. Whatever Harry does will always be controversial for the rest of his lifetime, isn't it? Even naming his own daughter, it becomes controversial when it does not contain any name from the side of Meghan. If Doreen has been there, then it will have been, why are you giving her Doreen name? That is it Harry or Lilibet Jr.?
Thank you, Doc, very much. Thank you very much. I think Harry himself was born in a controversial manner. His own birth was full of controversies of whether it was Philip and
we just want to center on the name controversy.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. The controversy began even from the birth of Harry himself. So his lifestyle has been very, very controversial too. He has not been very royal conservative in his way of life. So everything about Harry has been an issue of media debate and hypes. Anyway, a name is very significant, most especially when it is royal instituted. And so I believe that irrespective of what may be behind the individual, Meghan or Harry's thinking of trying to muggle together names of their grandparents and parents into the new birth of their daughter. One important thing is that there is need for a unified spirit and culture and tradition within the family, irrespective of the distance, disconnection that the marriage of Harry and Meghan has created in this present generation royal family. And as such, looking at what may be the situation in the nearest future with the passing away of Philip and the unpredictable situation that will happen to the Queen at any point in time. So this is the best moment for them to be able to look for how to bring themselves closer to the family in the spiritual mind of the entire family, by making sure there is a name. Whenever it is mentioned, it brings some memory back to every member of the family and every member of the generation that are still existing. And so Lilibet, Mountbatten, Windsor, Diana is all about bringing alive things that may easily be forgotten within the royal household and the entire world as a whole, because there's things that as revolutions takes place and things begin to evolve, they get to a point where people will not remember the name Diana or the name Lilibet. But because many people in the last 56 years or 60 years have only known the Queen as Queen Elizabeth. No one has ever called him in the public Lilibet. So at a point, that name will resonate again in the mind of people, and it will be made known that this used to be part of the Queen's name.
Yeah, so it will be historical, won't it?
Yeah,
thank you very much.
I think it's very important. I don't see anything wrong
with Kenny in Nigeria. Kenny, how do you see all these controversies with this name? Do you have any thoughts on it? Kenny? Do we still have Kenny online? Well, I would like to take Kenny on whenever he comes back, but let me say this. The meaning of Elizabeth, according to the Jewish form, is that it means my God is an oath, or my God is my abundance. So whatever way we want to look at it, my God is an oath. I don't know what theologians will make out of that, or my God is abundance will be something else. And the couple have chosen this name, and let it be. The press should allow them. Let it be. That's what we'll just say. Let it be. But this young lady shall be controversial, because this name, the meaning of this name, will continue to determine so many things she will do in future. But we shall very well from you decide. Well, from naming, let's go to presidents and president of important countries and great power like France, and Emmanuel Macron went straight into a slap no Western world will ever imagine. We have known of people throwing eggs at leaders, but not giving them a slap. In Africa, we call it dirty slaps. But let's watch this video, because I still don't believe this is Emmanuel Macron receiving a slap from a fellow French man.
Oh! Oh! Vas-y, casse-toi de là.
Mark, you are in Europe. Please tell us more.
Doc, it's an unfortunate situation. Very, very unfortunate for the president of France. French President Emmanuel Macron, was slapped in the face by a man in the crowd as he spoke to the public during a visit in the southeast side of France on Tuesday. The video has gone viral. Everybody has seen it. The footage shows the president. Actually, the president has finished what he came to do in that small town in the southeast of France. So, but he felt like what they call meet and greet residents of that small town. So while trying to do this, he walked down to the crowd. There was a fence between the crowd and the president and his entourage. So the president walked across to that fence, and this young man was yelling, "Macroni, Macroni." So that's a terminology used in France now by the press for Macron's presidency, and
what does that mean? Macaroni? Does it sound like macaroni, the one we eat?
Yeah, more like that. It's more like saying, yes, more like that. It's like a medieval battle cry now used in France, and the man was yelling. Now, Macroni went to him thinking he was meeting with a fellow Frenchman. What we saw was that, bam, he held his hands actually on this right side and with on the left side, and the right hand gave him that hard slap on the face. The man indeed really slapped the president of the republic. Everybody saw that, and the footage shows that. Moment before slapping the man again shouted. There was a French word he was saying. There was a French word he was screaming, "Monto something," and he used that word. And that word, like what we had, is a battle cry for during the French medieval battle in those days. So anyway, things got very ugly. The president was put on the spot. Immediately, security came in. 2 people were arrested. The man that slapped and another person that was accompanying the man that slapped. And as at yesterday, 3 p.m. Europe time, Western Europe time, it was alleged that the security were holding the 2 people in their custody. Macroni's attack was very embarrassing, and in fact, the far-right leaders and different party group members, leaders, have all come out saying this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. You can't attack somebody that is in a political office. So it's a serious offense. We hope that the president will overcome the emotion or stress, whatever it is that has happened to him. Currently, the information is he's coming down, and hopefully he might make a press statement on this very soon. So this is yes, sir.
Thank you very much for that update. Let me ask my colleagues here. Nat, the French president called it a slap on democracy. Please recall that President Buhari was there a few weeks ago. Do you think they could have slapped both Buhari and Macron together if there was a Nigerian standing there? Would it have been a slap on Buhari and Macron? Please, quickly, Nat.
Well, the thing is, it's also a controversial slap because Macron, as the president in France, has been himself very controversial, even his election. and even the forthcoming election. See, but what I see is that was very, very indecent. The French people and the French culture are known for their decency, their dignity, and their courage. And then there was a security lapse. There was a security lapse. I don't know whether that is how it is conducted in France, because when a president or prime minister is even if he's walking to greet the people, there is a three-ring security around the president, and no individual just standing across the fence. We have the guts and the tenacity to just bring out his hand to slap.
What if he had a knife or he had a gun? You know.
Well, that's another thing the French people will now work on, or the French government will now work on. How do you secure your public officers? How about if something worse than this had happened? Because even the president's reaction, he was shocked. He because maybe he's never, even the history apart from the guillotine, I don't think in the history of France we've seen this type of thing before.
Will you think there will be copycats all over the world trying to now copy this now? If only I can have a shot, I would slap Joe Biden. I would slap. Nobody will slap Angela Merkel, because at least Angela will give that person a real good butt back. So let's leave Angela alone. Maybe slap any of these African leaders. You think there will be copycats now?
Yeah, definitely there will be. And again, there may have been attempts in the past which the public didn't get to see or to know about, but definitely we should expect more of this, especially in the African continent. But you know, the security in Africa is different from what they will provide for the French.
Let me quickly ask Godson. Godson, we have Sandra who has written in. Sandra has written in, oh, this president did not deserve this attack. And Sandra also added, this is the kind of slap Buhari needs to rejig his corybantic mind. I don't know the meaning of that word. Mazi, you think, let's quickly talk, Mazi, of John Prescott. When John Prescott was the deputy prime minister in England, and somebody threw an egg, he went back and gave the person good blows, not knowing that John Prescott had been a boxer before, at least an amateur one. And I think that gave everybody a sense of rejigging. Do you think, Godson, do you think Buhari will have deserved this? He's an old man and he's doing his best.
Well, Doc, thank you very much. I think we have to be careful because democracy is about the people. Democracy is about governance. Democracy is about engagement and open interactions with the people you govern and those who govern and the governed themselves. And so sometimes you are bent to have this kind of circumstances or situations where there is a breach in security or guards around a very top respected or individual in the public space. And one thing we have to understand, this has been a culture even in most liberal societies across the developed world, where the public are looking for an opportunity to attack their leader in an open public space. And most of us knew that was the reason why Kennedy was assassinated in 1963 or 64. So, and Pope John Paul had so many attacks from at the Vatican because of the interaction in an open public space with a liberal-minded approach. And we know that France is an open, liberal-minded society where the president, I believe the next thing is that they begin to teach presidents, prime ministers, the art of self-defense in such places, because by the time you react very adversely, you may become a tyranny unknown to yourself and then being perceived wrongly by the society. In 2017, the Prime Minister of France was also attacked in a similar way. Knowing very well that the society has evolved. The generation of people we have now are becoming more intolerant to the way their leaders react or act in certain issues concerning the society, especially when you have this deep animosity between the socialists, the far right, and the far left, and the centralists, and the kind of the kind of narratives that most of the young people are getting from this philosophical and ideological divide in the developed world is creating a lot of challenges for leaders. And I believe that if it becomes the case, and I feel that this is one of the reasons why, in the case of Nigeria and Buhari, those around him are preventing him from going into any public space or engaging people in an open public environment, such as you can see the French Prime Minister went to a region where he wanted to explain to them the benefit of opening the economy and talking to the restaurant owners, reassuring them, giving them more confidence about the economy and the business. Suddenly he had this challenge. And we can see how other country leaders are visiting their citizens in challenging situations and difficult situations. But our president in Nigeria has not found it reasonable and respectfully enough to at least visit one or two, even in the capital territory, to say, I'm giving you reassurance that things will change. And I believe that is because of the security inability also of most of the security elements around Nigeria, that is depriving those around him, giving him the advice or encouraging him to visit the Nigerians outside and feel their pain and share their pain in the public space, because they know if he does that and there is any little security breach, he may not return back to Aso Villa or being Aso.
Okay, listen to this one, because we're about to round up this session. We still have Sandra, and she lives in the United States. So people are watching us all over the world. If you send in your comments, I promise to read. And Sandra says this one: I'm a Nigerian and live in the United States. Believe me, I love orderliness, I love decency too. But I'm pained that this man Buhari has plunged Nigerians into existential annihilation. Wow. Well, we will be discussing about Buhari and the existential annihilation. I don't know how Americans would pronounce that one, but there is something that we will need to show as soon as we come back. We'll be talking about Twitter banning in Nigeria. How far do you agree? We have so many reactions from Nigeria. The legislator said, opposition legislators said they will not abide with the presidential order. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Shaggy Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Shaggy Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
It has been 1 year of coronavirus, and that sickness has affected the whole globe. The aftermath will even be worse, the way the scientists are telling us. And we believe that we need to counter it right now. If 1 million souls should do good to 1 other million souls, it will be a better place. So we want to start this project. 1 million souls to do good to 1 million souls. Why don't you join us? You don't have to register anywhere. Follow me on Twitter at Shaggy Johnson UK for daily tips. There we show you how to do good to 1 person. Always remember, 1 million souls, do good to 1 million souls.
Thanks for staying with us. The program is You Decide, and we give you information, facts, and analysis. But at the end of the day, you decide. Please send in your feelings, your thoughts on everything we're saying, so that the rest of the world will hear you, what you think. Right now, Twitter deletes Buhari's message. Buhari deletes Twitter in Nigeria. That is the situation. Many of you have seen this image before. Many of those misbehaving today are able, young, to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the fields of 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language they understand. The language they understand, Twitter believes, is the one of repression, oppression, suppression, and depression, and killing them. And Nigeria was associated with genocide during the Nigerian Civil War, and Twitter did not feel comfortable with that, and decided to delete Buhari, that message of Buhari, and Buhari in turn deleted Twitter from Nigeria, and there is a lot of controversies. We want to just look at it, and we'll love to hear from you. Now, let's start with this. Nat, please, in a nutshell, bring us up to date.
The background is that the National Electoral Commission chairman, the national chairman, and some of his officials visited President Muhammadu Buhari, I think sometimes last week, Tuesday. They went to Buhari to brief him on how INEC offices are being burnt down, electoral materials are being burnt down, and so many destruction of facilities of INEC. And so they went to tell the president that this could be a dangerous trend that could likely even prevent 2023 general elections. And so Buhari, in his response, Buhari said some few other things in response to INEC's visit. And what he said, the 3 main things were the issue of his not going for a 3rd term. There will be no 3rd term for him. Then the main thing now was this issue of people who are misbehaving now, who are agitating, were not born, were not there when the Nigerian Civil War took place, 1967 to 1970. And then, so that was a statement made by Buhari. Now, I'm sure one of his aides on modern media now put it on Twitter. That was the only item they picked and put on Twitter. And Twitter saw it, and I think the whole world saw it as hate speech or a very dangerous language to be used by a president of a country like Nigeria, and especially the insecurity, the challenges the country was already engulfed in, for such a statement to come out from the presidency or president himself making such a statement. And again, for a government that is not active in anything, swiftly deleted Twitter from Nigeria, as Dr. Shaggy would say, and the Minister of Information picked it up, the Attorney General of the Federation picked it up, and then the public and the world say, no way, we cannot have it. This is an attempt to gag the press. This is an attempt to gag the social media through the back door. But as things are now, we are still jaw on this issue. But the interesting thing is that we have prominent religious leaders in Nigeria who have churches all over the world. The GO, the General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church, said this is a fundamental human right. It's granted even by the United Nations for free speech, free communication, and freedom to hold on to ideas. Kumuyi also, who is a prominent religious leader not only in Nigeria but outside, said he uses Twitter to get in touch with his members all over the world. But the Nigerian government is not listening. And what happened yesterday in the National Assembly, especially in the House of Representatives, and the government is now saying that Twitter has not shown any remorse, and so the ban stays. But again, there's economic loss on both sides. Twitter is losing money, Nigeria is losing money because of the number of people who use Twitter for business, for communication, and for other things.
Thank you very much, Nat. Quickly, Mark, we have one comment from Mercy Amos. Sorry, and let me just read it as it is. It's from Mark Amos. This is what it says. Trump congratulates Nigeria for Twitter ban. Says more countries should do the same. Trump is congratulating the government of Nigeria, and but Trump did not ban Twitter or Facebook or Instagram when he was served. But Mark, you want to comment on that statement, as well as what are the implications of business going down because of the ban on Twitter in Nigeria? Any business implication at all?
Yes, sir. A lot of business implication. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's not today that countries have been banning Twitter. In fact, right about now, China, Twitter is not used in China. Twitter is not used in Iran. Twitter is not used in North Korea. And several years ago also, the United Arab Emirates, Twitter blocked, United Arab Emirates blocked Twitter for a time. Egypt also, you all remember the protests in Egypt in 2011. That period, Egypt had to block out Twitter. Russia also has blocked Twitter. So several countries have been blocking Twitter. Turkey, Russia, Egypt. Now we are talking about Nigeria. This is the first time it's actually happening in Africa for a country to block Twitter. But what the presidency is saying is it undermines democracy. A lot of us are angry. We have the right to be angry anyway, because Twitter has been a very, very dynamic platform for the modern day young people in Nigeria. And like you just said, Doctor, it's been confirmed that apart from the fact that Twitter is not situated inside Nigeria, but Twitter still has what you call proxy workers, virtual workers, and there are about 150 of them inside Nigeria. So, and that's just a small figure there. Also, Twitter brought out some analysts, some data analysts, and close to 10 million Nigerians use Twitter for business. 10 million, and that's a huge figure. So, like Dr. Nat said, financially, this will rub on Nigeria. It will rub also on Twitter. Twitter has promised to see to this whole situation. We should also have it in mind that our sister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala sits in the BOT of Twitter, the board of trustee. So she's obviously aware of all this, and she's probably also in some of these decisions going on.
Yeah, but some Nigerian northern leaders came castigating Okonjo-Iweala. Why is she on that board and Twitter dealing with Nigeria like this? Did you watch that video too?
Yes. But a company has to do what it has to do. The president's tweet was flagged down because of a truth. It incites so much. It incites violence. It incites hate. And now, taking the fact that Buhari's Twitter page has close to 1 million followers. So normally, any other person could have tweeted that thing and it might not have any significance. Yes, any impact. But being the president of a country and you have such huge amount of people following you, and like the way Twitter works, things are interwoven. Even with his 1 million followers, probably, you could have even more people seeing that tweet at the same time, because Twitter's platform is done in such a way that the interactions and the movement of tweets could garner up a lot of attention within seconds. That's how they built their platform.
Okay.
So that statement is terribly wrong, and Twitter has its own terms and usage. So you have to follow those terms and usage, no matter who you are. Now, flagging it down is a sign that, yes, we are adhering to our terms and usage. That's what Twitter is trying to say. So, but the presidency reacted in a very childish way, let me be honest. Childish in the sense that he shows that he is not tough-skinned. How do you get angry because of a tweet and now ban a business platform, a social platform?
But don't you see that is not just a reaction to that particular incident, but that is a way to shut down the social media so that whatever atrocities
yes, and also there is this information I got on Monday. Actually, there's a young man called Garuba Adamu. He was one time a presidential aspirant in Nigeria, and he's a friend to APC. He's a friend to the presidency. Now, Garuba Adamu has his own version of Nigerian Twitter. So we're also looking at it like this is they are doing this. They are using this opportunity to bring up on an in-house tweet, an in-house platform that is similar to Twitter. So it's just like the right timing, because Garuba Adamu has been going around and talking about his version of Twitter for Nigerians. It's called Trend Niger. Maybe you could all Google that. Trend Niger is what they are using as an alternative. Well, it is not a bad idea to have like China does. It's not a bad idea to have a homegrown platform. Yes, it's not bad, but not in this situation, and also not when there is this tense atmosphere. There's these agitations with people, and now he's adding it up with this banning of it means they interact with, it means they socialize with. It's not going well.
Thank you, Mark from Milan. Mazi Goktin, I have someone who wrote in here. He said Buhari is a tyrant and has no modicum of scruples. Will you agree in the face of these Twitter debacles? And what are the challenges to being dictatorial with this kind of reaction?
Thank you very much, Doc. I think what we're seeing today is as a result of what the Nigerian people asked for themselves, because they say that you get what you ask for. And indeed, just like somebody said some time ago, that Nigerians are busy having night vigils, prayer night, asking for God's protection, why in that means of asking and praying, people are still dying in their number. While the country called Israel today, renowned to be the nation of God, the people in the heart or before the heart of God or in the heart of God, are not busy praying day and night and fasting for God protection, but rather build a shield across the country, preventing enemy's missiles from entering into Tel Aviv or Western Jerusalem. The issue here is that we are busy doing the wrong thing at the right times. And as such, we end up having leaders who take for granted the strength of the masses and of the people. Unfortunately, I will want to say here that Buhari, in all sense of respect and belonging, made a statement which in himself, if re-examined, will not be able to repeat that same statement in the form he made it at the time he was making that statement. But rather than guiding him out of that, how do I put it, implicacious statement that could lead into interpretation and social conflict and war in the country, his advisors and those around him take to Twitter thinking that will create publicity and popularity of Buhari across the country. I blame, and I continue to say it everywhere, 4 people around Buhari are the biggest problem he have in that country. Shehu Gaba, Lorite Neche, Mr. Adeshino, and Laila Muhammad. These guys, all men and gentlemen and lady, are not doing the president any good, neither are they helping the country for any reasons for being in the position.
Is it a personal opinion?
My personal opinion and opinion of so many people that I've been reading and I've been exchanging things with. Because these are the people that supposedly create either a positive image of the president and his government, or create a negative image of the president and his government before his people and the international community. Rather than doing the right thing to ensure that if the president is bad, let's make him look good in a positive way. They are making the president look good to themselves in a very negative way before the eyes of the people.
Let me ask you a question.
International community. And so it's need to address.
I know you have a lot to say, but I want to ask you 2 questions, and I'll be asking them one after the other. Number 1, how do you see the revolt of the key people in Nigeria? That is Daddy Gio Adeboye. For those of us who don't know Daddy Gio, if you are not in Nigerian, it means Pastor Adeboye, the pastor in charge of the largest denomination in Nigeria, RCCG. He said he has members of his church all over 176 countries in the world. I must Twitter because they will need information from me. W.F. Kumuyi, the Deeper Life minister, said, I'm going to Twitter. El Rufai, one of the governors in Nigeria, said, I must Twitter. Sheyi Makinde, the governor for your state, I must Twitter. PDP legislators, we are going to tweet. We must use the Twitter. Now, Mazi, how do you see all these people? What's your position on this?
Well, I see it as a positive reaction by the people who ought to lead the revolution, the social revolution, the social re-engineering of Nigeria. I believe that this is time for them not to only say it in words, but to do it in actions. This is time for them to come up. If Pa Adeboye leads one of the largest congregation of churches, Oyedipo leads, between Oyedipo and Adeboye and Kumuyi, they can raise 30 million Nigerians on the street with their church memberships alone. These three key church leaders alone. Not to talk about some notable social and political mobilizers in Nigeria. Can raise, between them all you mentioned here, can raise 50 million Nigerians on the street of Nigeria across the states. If they want to put it in action, if they want to do what North Korea did against the Chinese government, to reinvoke national and international awareness of the negativity of governance in their country. It's about action, not about words. Words can only motivate when people begin to act on those words. So we need them to start to act. You see, when Mark talked about China, Russia, North Korea, Twitter banning in those countries banning Twitter, those countries ban Twitter because of the influence of the populace, of the citizens on tweet reactions against the government, not the way the government tweets in those things. The issue here in Nigeria is that the government itself in Nigeria is using Twitter even more than those who are using it for business to re-engineer the minds of people. Some of the negative information you see on Twitter are with the handles by those operating on behalf of the government. It's a simple truth. Some of these tweets are coming out from people who are working, who are like agents, spy agents of the government, using their tweets to generate opinion, views, and reactions within the society in Nigeria. And sometimes these things are negative. They are boiling up the minds of people, creating unnecessary and unwanted social opinions. And so the fact here is that Twitter has stood by its policies by saying you cannot use hate words. If the government is standing to fight against hate words in the country, and at the same government is now using a hate statement, a hate word to tweet in a system, how do you?
Okay. My second question to you:
is declaring war from the presidency against his people because the people are.
My second question to you: do you think this can lead to a mass revolt now that a key man in Nigeria, and we know religion is very key in Nigeria, do you think this can lead to mass revolt? Unfortunately, you will be solitary by the time the police will accost you and check your phone and discover you've been using VPN, and you'll be solitary and you'll be in serious trouble with the police. But do you think the mass can revolt over this one?
I believe that this is time for Nigerians to begin to realize the importance of the power of social media in its positive way, in its revolutionary context, because this has helped to re-engineer so many societies in the present democracies around the world, from Arab Spring to Asian Spring. There's a lot of demonstrations that have been engineered because of the challenge to social media reactions. And so I think Nigerians now has an opportunity to show that they can stand on their feet for their human rights, for their social rights, and their political rights in a country that seems to be draining into oblivion gradually as a result of 4 or 5 people using the name of the president and his office to re-engineer the entire nation of 210 or 220 million people.
Yeah, I know there have been a challenge. I know there have been a challenge between the difference between president and presidency in Nigeria. We may not have time for that today. And let me quickly ask our in-house researcher, Nat Iyako. We saw that the international reaction of the EU, US, UK have not been favorable to Nigeria, and the Nigerian Minister of External Affairs called their ambassadors and high commissioner to an office and told them so, that Nigeria is taking note of what they are doing. And they replied Nigeria there and then that the international community is not happy. But what are the implications if these key figures in the world, the US, the UK, and the EU, they are not happy about Nigeria's action? What do you think are the implications? They're not.
Let me continue from the question you asked, Azu. As of yesterday, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of Nigeria has instructed the police to go and arrest Adegboye, Kumuyi, Yarufai, and others who are still using Twitter. But the police said they are not arresting anybody. That is the police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria is bluffing, or the federal government is just bluffing to say, they don't say Twitter has not shown any remorse. I don't know whether they want the Twitter chief executive to go and crawl and lie down in villa begging anybody there. So Nigeria, they don't know what they are doing. They have bungled and mishandled this Twitter issue. And that is the more reason Twitter went to Ghana, because we don't have democracy, no democracy in Nigeria. Our people are oppressing, the government is oppressing the people, the government is alienating the people, the government is dictatorial in their actions.
Do you think this can lead to the isolation of Nigeria by key partners like UK, US, EU? Do you think it can lead to its isolation?
No, because the VPN, people have found other means now of communicating through VPN. They are using VPN, other means to communicate on Twitter platform.
In fact, Nigerians just went to town to say that, look, you can bypass Twitter and yet get communicating with the rest of the world. And listen to this young man as he told them how to do it in their own language. So if you don't understand some of what he's saying, just ignore it. But I just want you to see and to hear that Nigerians are bold in the way they came out. Let's have that video of the young man telling Nigerians what to do.
Something for you. If you are watching me from Nigeria right now, please pay attention to this info. I'm going to call them out, and you can try to hide, to look for them. If you are using an iPhone, now that they said they have banned Twitter, they haven't really banned Twitter, okay? They are working on other things to shut down the internet, all right? And the way they will do it partly. The southern Nigeria will begin to witness fluctuating network and all of that on all networks, okay? Some region will be having, some part of southern Nigeria will be having a complete blackout. Don't be surprised when they turned off the internet in eastern Nigeria so that they can stop people from sending in images, videos of all the atrocities of the Nigerian government through the Nigerian military, killing innocent people, kidnapping them, executing them. And to cover all of this up, they will shut internet down. And when that happens, right, when you have alternative of getting online and you need to hide where you are, listen to this. Go on to either your Apple Store or you go to Google Play. I think that is what it's called, Google Play, where you can go and download apps. All right? So many people know this. And if you don't have much information on it, or if you don't grab much of this information, go online now and search for free VPN. Vespa, Papa, Niger. VPN. Now you can now go on that Apple Store, or let me say the Google Store or Google Play, and search for Ideman. These are apps that through them you can use internet and they won't know where you are or where you are sending messages from. Are you following me? Download Ideman, download Turbo VPN, download Private Tunnel, download Soft Easy. That is a Soft Easy. Download OpenVPN. Download TorGuard. Try and download Proton VPN. Download Hotspot Shield. Download Private Internet Access. Download ZenMate. ZenMate. That's it. Z-E-N Mate. You can Google all this, okay? You are going to need them in the coming days, in the coming weeks, and in the coming months. Boko Haram is hell-bent in committing genocide in southern Nigeria using the military of military of.
Well, it's noteworthy that he didn't say download send Niger, or as Mark told us. Well, this is you decide. All we do is we give you information, we give you facts, we give you analysis. Whether you are going to download or not, you decide. We'll go for a short break. When we return, we want to look at the state of security in Nigeria, or insecurity as you like. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Ben TV, your ethnic and Africa-led television, welcomes your input, contribution, and support to facilitate our continuous program production, campaign for projects, and other media-related services. We have been here for closer to 2 decades.
Give yourself away for me.
Thanks for staying with us. The program is You Decide, and you are watching Ben Television. Now, a head teacher lamented that 136 students of his have just been abducted early in the morning, including his own daughter, and he was crying. This is Nigeria. Play Studio shows the clip of this head teacher crying and mourning and lamenting for his children.
This attack is the first attack we received in Tegina. This is the first attack. So we don't know anything. We are innocent. Our children are innocent. One painful thing is that my sister called me before the last discussion with the bandits. She was crying. She told me, she swore to God that the children, they are sick. They cannot walk. They have removed their hijabs, their veil. They unveil them. They removed their shirts. They left them with only trousers. They have no shoes, no food. They are giving them kuli kuli. If you know kuli, they are giving them kuli kuli. You know kuli, this is a granite cake. That's what they are giving them. How do you expect them to survive? My own children, they took them to where they unknown place to them, unknown environment. And I heard you talking of they left them in a floor. When you are talking of floor, you are talking of classroom, you are talking of our houses. No, it's not their houses. It's not. They are not in the class. They took them to bush. They are sleeping on the ground. No leaf, no mat. How do you expect them to live like that?
Alaje, oh my gosh. I sympathize. I feel for you. I feel for you. This is unbearable.
All eyes are on me as the head teacher. All eyes are on me. You see, I have witnessed the funeral prayer of one of the parents here, very close to the school. She died. He has one child in the school. When she just come back, because she was not around when the incidents happened. But they found her to come back. When she came back, they told her that this is what is happening. Before you know, within that 10 to 15, 30 minutes, she fainted. And that is the end of her. She died. That was day before yesterday. One day after the incidents happened, another parent, woman, died. Because she has 2 children. She sent one to the town. When she asked about the abduction, she died from heart attack. As I'm talking to you now, my wife is down. They have to drip her yesterday. She did not cook. She did not eat. My little child that is at home is... Oh,
I'm so sorry, Alaji. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
I slept with him on my bed. I'm telling you.
Well, it's a sad story, not only in Tegana, all over Nigeria. I say so with all sense of responsibility. This is happening on every inch of Nigerian soil. And I'm saying it with all sense of responsibility as a father and a grandfather. What that head teacher has just said is happening on every inch of Nigeria. But let me ask our in-house researcher, Nati Yako, bring us up to date in what is happening in Tegena, not too far from Kagara. Please, Nat.
Thank you very much. This is the height of inhumanity to fellow human beings. The Kagara Islamia, Tonko Salihu Islamia nursery and primary school was attacked 12 days ago in Tegina. And we still Kagara is still fresh in our minds. Tegina to Kagara is a few kilometers. Actually, it's even a walking distance. They came into this Islamia school and abducted. The initial figure was more than 136. It was around 146 or thereabout. But 10 of the children were you are talking of 2 years, 3 years children. They could not walk that distance into the forest. And so the bandits dropped them and went off. And we're not talking of 12 days. And we had the head teacher saying that there is no food. If you know kuli being cake from groundnut, it's not something that you feed on for 10 days. And you are sleeping not even on leaves on the grass in the forest.
Now, let me pause you. How could they remove 136 or 146 without any villager knowing, without any town member seeing them? 136 or 146, they're not 5 or 6 people. I mean, this is a massive movement. How do they do that without the whole village waking up and shouting and confronting them? 136, 146. Please, how did they get away with it?
You're asking this question like the Minister of Defense of Nigeria, who said villagers could confront these bandits. But the bandits are armed to the teeth. In the video that Arise Television showed, there is a woman who was even in that same compound with those Islamia students. She had them speaking, but she could not come out. She will be shot. She will be killed on the spot. So the issue is not the villagers not knowing or the villagers shouting. These people are armed to kill. When we have had instances in the same Kagara, the first time they attacked the Kagara Technical Government College, they killed one of the students who was attempting to run away or to shout. So and under those circumstances, the psychological trauma they will go through, they can't do anything.
And it will not happen within 6 seconds. Nobody had phone to quickly call the police or the soldiers. I mean, like they've been taught to quickly call somebody who cannot be seen. I mean, nothing. The soldiers and policemen were not to be found.
I know Kagara very well. I know Tegina. I very, very well. That is the route I used to take from Bidda to Zungeru to Tegina to Kagara to Kaduna to Zaria. As we speak, there are only 8 policemen in the whole local government of Rafi, local government of Niger State. Tegina is one of the towns in Rafi local government. 8 policemen, 8 Nigerian policemen. What will they be? And you can be sure they will all be concentrated in the local government headquarters, which is in Kagara.
And even after because they're in the same local government, after the abduction in Kagara school, so didn't they know they should have increased 8 to 800 by now?
From where? The state government has no policemen. The policemen will come from the federal government. The state government has not said anything. They have not visited them. The federal government that will normally send help from Abuja, nobody has sent anything. So the issue is that we are not competent. The federal government, state government, local government have failed. The only people whom Tegina head teacher said have come or showed sign of sympathy is the chairman of the local government. And the chairman of the local government is in the pocket of the state governor.
And he couldn't resign to say this kind of thing and say, look, this is not acceptable. I'm resigning my position.
Resign to where?
let me ask Mark, please help me out. What do you think will be the situation of these young children? One of them died on the way, 3-year-old who couldn't walk anymore, and he died and he was left, his body was found. We don't even know how many have died since then, but what do you think will be their situation right now?
Very, very appalling, very, very terrible states they will be in now, Doctor. Take note that 11 of the children, when they were kidnapped, 11 of those children were released because, like Dr. Nat said, they were too small and too weak to move. And probably the abductors didn't see any benefit in having them, adding to their own, complicating issues for them again. So these 11 children were released, and most likely, like they say, it was because of their age. It's a sad thing that's happened in Tegena. I know Tegena very well too, like Doctor was saying. These are routes you pass when you go with vehicle out in the north. This kidnap is coming at a very terrible time, coupled with all our security situations in Nigeria. Remember that it's coming also 3 months after the Kagare situation, which is not too far from Tegena, I think about 18 kilometers thereabouts. 5 of these students were killed. Not one died. 5, like they said, were killed with the abductors. 5. Yes, I think 5.
It's 1.
Yes, 1. Sorry, 1. Yes, this kidnapping case is becoming too much. Security challenges in Nigeria, where hundreds of students are abducted at the same time. And like you asked, how do people stay there and they move this number of people? How does that happen? Well, that happens because when these people come, these bandits, they come with vehicles, they come with machine, they have like an escort, and they come with heavy arms. So nobody will want to step in the way of such an operation. You know, these bandits have been operating freely in the forest, so they also understand corners, road paths, and ways to get to where they want to go, and how to take people from one location to the other. So it's an organized attack, and this kidnapping is becoming very, very rampant now. We are having.
How much is the ransom now? Do we know the ransom right now?
Okay, that's something we have to get the exact fact. But obviously, the ransom.
Sorry to interrupt you. You know, the first figure, the ransom figure was 110 million naira.
Mm-hmm.
But they jacked it up to 200 million naira.
And
they have come down to 150 million naira. The parents were able to mobilize 11 million naira, took it to the bandits, and they rejected it.
Oh, thank you for that information.
Now, an intelligence report has gathered that so far, Nigeria has spent $22.3 million in ransom between this period of time we've been having this kidnapping. So we're talking of a very lucrative business for these wicked people, but also a detriment to our economy, a detriment to the lives of people, and it's something that really has to be addressed. And it's a pity the Nigerian security arms are not doing much to address this. They are not.
Thank you, man. Mazi Godson, does it mean Nigeria has failed, especially in security matters? Now, if we are to redraw the map of Nigeria, let's just close our eyes and redraw the map of Nigeria. What exactly is Buhari governing? Is it governing Aso Rock, or is it governing Abuja? But definitely, he's not governing Niger State. He's not governing Southeast. He's not governing some parts of Southwest. I mean, do you think Nigeria under Buhari has become a failed state?
Thank you very much, Doc. If the definition of a failed state is an act of inability to govern a territorial enclosure in the true sense of human security and food security and the provision of economic well-being of the people inhabiting that territorial area, then Nigeria as it is today is not too far away from being declared or examined as a failed state in the international community. And obviously, people have been managing the situation in every sense of direction to see how they can get the apparatus of governance to find a new way of administering governance in that country in order to bring a real sense of belonging and assurances to the people themselves. The way things are going in Nigeria today is even worse than the situation in Syria. Even though Syria is a clear civil war conflict zone, but yet the way people are being kidnapped, traded for money. I have not had stories of such even in Syria. I have not had such stories even from Yemen, where there is a very terrible civil conflict. I have not had such stories even as much as in Libya, where there is even a complete divided warlords against the governments of the day, even in Somalia, like somebody said, where people are kidnapped and the government can't do nothing. Rather, the government negotiate with kidnappers, negotiate with
this money is coming from Niger State, isn't it? The 150 million they want will become, because these villagers cannot raise 150 million. They did their best in 11 million, and that's a lot of money considering where they are. So is it a matter of drawing money from the government?
It's a doc, like I keep saying. It's just like when in 2014 or 15, when this same Lai Mohammed challenged the presidency of Jonathan, when Jonathan's administration were planning to disband Boko Haram and alienate them. The same Lai Mohammed came and on the air or in papers to write that banning Boko Haram is unjust, it's uncalled for, it's not the best way. And today they are now having a good free will with Boko Haram and the so-called Nigerian named bandit, because it's only in Nigeria I hear people being called bandits, and then they are being they stand to negotiate with Nigeria on a negotiating table on how they can either free some areas in Nigeria if Nigerians are able to offer them their request. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Mazi, hold on one second. I want you to watch. Mazi, hold on one second. I want you to watch the video of Buhari react to what is happening in the southeast, and then you'll be able to match it with his reaction or lack of it in northern part of Nigeria. Watch this video. I'm coming back to you, Mazi.
It is very clear that they intend to make sure that this administration fails. I'm getting good intelligence report on daily basis. The question of insecurity in the country is being mentioned all over the world, not only here in Nigeria. But I believe there are Nigerians that will attempt at least to be fair by what I believed, that I will run the country according to the Constitution. Now, with all these people who want power, whoever they are, have they proved that I was not following the Constitution? Well, am I not leading the country according to the Constitution? What do they want? I had one impression which gave me a lot of hope and confidence to continue the way I wanted. So whoever wanted diversion or destruction of the system at this point, I think will soon have their shock of their lives. I think we have given them enough latitude. They have made their case. They just wanted to destroy the country. Simple. Because what do they want? And we are concentrating on infrastructure because no country or institution can be developed without infrastructure. And I assure you that I will be willing, within whatever resources we have, to make sure we meet all your demands, so that no excuse can be given for any failure. So I expect you, what is happening in the southeast, attacking police station, killing the police, taking away arms and ammunition. Now, for those of us who are unfortunate to be in the field for 30 months of the Civil War, to see the carnage of how we kill ourselves, at least 1 million people, I think those that are misbehaving, they were either too young, they didn't know what happened. But for those of us who went through all these things, we can't understand. So we will treat them in the language they understand. So I feel for your understanding and so on. We are going to be very hard sooner than later.
Well. Mazi, back to you. What's your reaction?
Well, I would say that rather unfortunate, Mr. President, reading from a well-written, guided note of what he need to say and how he had to say it, and guiding his retentive memories in order to add his own personal experience views on some of the points noted on the paper he was reading through, to express his own feelings and misguided information. He said he's gathering, they're giving him intelligence daily basis. Unfortunately, if he's been getting daily basis intelligence report, I am sure by now the atrocities and the carnages that are happening in the Northeast, Northwest, North Central on a daily basis will not be a matter of discussion now. And if only he can now realize that he's getting daily intelligence only because of the resultant issues in the Southeast. Let me tell Mr. President to understand that whatever is happening in the Southeast is not as a result of the Eastern Security Network reactions. It's not as a result of certain elements of the IPOBs in the Southeast, but it's a accumulation of reactions of both politicians in the Southeast who are struggling together for national political powers and relevance within the national politics of Nigeria towards the authoritarianization and the position of the Southeast in the place of Nigerian politics for 2023. And also the infiltration of armed mercenaries from the North into the East, sponsored by certain elements in the North to add to the pressure of insecurity and conflict and clashes in the South. So if Mr. President himself, to be honest to himself with the intelligence he's getting, should be open-minded to understand that what is happening in the Southeast is not as a result of people trying to attack the sitting government, but as a result of the absolute disconnection between the sitting government and certain elements and certain political figures in the Southeast. And as a result, he should be, as an experienced and a retired general, should be able, before he makes such comment, make absolute good consultation. And that is why the need for human face consultations and engagement. Not selected few. There are people in the Southeast that are colliding with certain elements in the North to create the huge level of insecurity in the Southeast and in the South-South. And they should be well noted that the only way to solve the insecurity in this country is to seek and understand the mindset of the generality of Nigerians across board, from the North, from the South. If he cannot able to resolve the crisis of Boko Haram, the rising of the Sahel, what do they call them? The ISOL, whatever, that are taking over now.
ISWAP, Islamic State of West Africa.
The ISWAPs taking over from Boko Haram now. The renamed bandits, the kidnappers in the North that have now moved from kidnapping 1 or 2 people at a time, school children, kidnapping a whole complete village and take them as a body shield and use them for ransoms. Then he's not being honest to Nigerians. He's not being honest to the people of the South. He needs to come out and allow this situation be resolved in an honest and genuine approach. Because we cannot have a country with a leader standing and sitting.
All right, we will continue the discussion when we come back from this short break. Thank you, Dr.
And in Libya.
This discussion will continue after we return from this short break. Please don't go away, because there is a group called the Northern Elders Forum. They have inducted Buhari himself, and I think, like Chinua Achebe said, things fall apart. We don't know whether the center is still going to hold, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
Ben Television has been going for almost 2 decades now, representing the African, Caribbean, and ethnic communities in the diaspora, especially based in the United Kingdom. We have been providing content, various programs to empower, make an intervention, deliver, and enlighten the mainstream community about what it is to be a BAME in the United Kingdom. For almost 2 decades, this has been our ethos, bridging the gap. Now we seek for your support and partnership in delivering what we need to achieve in the coming generation for our youth, either through training, mentorship, empowerment for their entrepreneurial skill, talent, and in their business. Ben Television, bridging the gap, you're welcome to be with us. Thank you very much for joining and being partners of Ben TV, creating that bridge between the mainstream and the other communities in the United Kingdom and in Europe.
Shaggy Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. It's Shaggy Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Shaggy Story magazine. Get Shaggy Story magazine full editions.
Thanks for staying with us. The program is You Decide. We give you information, facts, and analysis. Who takes the decision? It's going to be you. We have this report from the Northern Elders Forum. They're usually pro-Buhari, but we want you to listen to their heart. Listen to this video and watch.
The Northern Elders Forum has reviewed events and tendencies which suggest that the country is headed for more crises. Nigerians live in fear of violence today and in fear of an uncertain future. The capacity of the Nigerian state to secure citizens, protect the country's territorial integrity, and resist violent assaults on our unity is weakening to levels of making threats that have no impact. Armed criminals of all types have increased their audacious stranglehold over our lives in all parts of the country. irredentists are increasingly asserting their influence over in the southeast and some parts of the country, and in the manner that millions of Nigerians now live. Rhetorics from political leaders and ethnic champions who speak in threats and demands routinely suggest that the sentiments in support of irredentism are becoming more widespread. All Nigerians are paying the price of failure of two sets of leaders. At the national level, the administration appears to have lost the capacity to hold the gradual descent of the country into anarchy. Political leaders in the southeast appear to have submitted to violence and terror of IPOB and ESN. Muted voices of millions of Igbo cannot be heard, so that Nigerians can understand the degree to which secession by the Igbo represents their popular choice. Nigeria has had to fight two terrible wars to preserve the country. The North has paid its dues in that war, and indeed in many ways throughout the history of our country. Under our current circumstances, no Nigerian should welcome another war to keep this country together. The North, in particular, has more than enough challenges, and we recognize that violent secession by any part of Nigeria will compound the problems of all Nigerians under which we live. The forum has arrived at the difficult conclusion that if support for secession...
Well, the forum arrived at the difficult conclusion that if the East wants to go, there should be no war. That's their decision. And because war will not worth it. So the question to you, Nat, Iyakwo, secession or separation, which way Nigeria?
Well, the spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum, the man who was reading the speech, Baba Hakim Ahmed, is a retired federal permanent secretary, retired from service just a few days ago. You know, there are other groups within the North who are saying different things, but he seems to be striking a balance, more objective balance, and maybe suggesting the way forward. I am not for succession or what the other word you used?
Secession or separation. Separation means there is no war. You want to go, go. Secession means you can't go. We're going to pound you, or we're moving by force out. You know.
No, there is a third force. Any reasonable Nigerian in the 21st century, in the year 2021, nobody should be talking about separation or succession.
Or secession. Like the Biafrans did in 1967. That was secession. They went by force.
Yeah, these things, those words will not be able to operate in Nigeria in 2021, because any country like Nigeria trying to subdivide into sub-countries or sub-nations will not be able to survive the competition in the 21st century. We are talking, people are talking of advancement in science and technology, and we are talking of cattle, we are talking of Twitter, or we are talking of succession. It's not going to work.
Okay, so let me quickly ask others, because there are some other place we want to come into. Mark, in Milan, you listen to that man representing Northern Elders Forum. You think separation or secession or restructuring or constitutional amendment? Let me make it easier for you.
Yes, I get it, sir. Our elder the NEF spokesman Hakim Baba Ahmed, he has come out straight. He is not bending his tongue. Neither is he saying it in a complex way. He's saying it straight. The forum has arrived at the difficult conclusion that if support for secession among the Igbos is widespread, as it is being made to look, the Igbo leaders appears to support it, then the country should be advised not to stand in their way. That is clear speech.
Do you think he meant it? Did he mean it, or he was just trying to?
I have also been followed spokesman Hakim Baba. He's a man of integrity in his own way, and he sits in a very hot seat. That's the conglomerate of the Northerners, elders in the north of Nigeria. That's their forum, and he sits as the director of publicity and the media. So he means that, they mean it. They can't just be bluffing. We're in a time when nobody should bluff because situations are really coming to our faces. He also said something that is very serious, that the way the agitators are worsening the security of the country, if it is not checked, might lead to war. Now, maybe Doc might not have much of that experience, but those of us from the East know what that 1966 to 1970 impact was on Nigeria.
Mark, I was alive. I was alive at that time.
I know you were alive, but you were in the West.
I was joking in the gutters.
You were alive, but you were enjoying you weren't feeling the impact. I mean, we were hearing boom, boom.
Okay, we will leave that discussion to another time.
Yeah, so what's the way, Doc? What I would say, what I've always said is secession will not work now. Secession means a movement of a certain group of people, an entity getting out from a given organization or nation. That won't work now. Like Dr. Nat just said, we have come a long way together. So what's the point? All these long journey, and now we say go. And how do we go? What are those formulas and ways of going? How do we start going if we're to go? Take note that Nigeria is so diverse, and we are interwoven. We have all come together as one. So going will not help this situation. The situation
but
really is
okay. Question: is the federal government governing the nation? I mean, if we are not going, and the federal government effect is not felt in Southeast, is not felt in South in terms of security and welfare, is not felt in Southwest, is not even felt in North Central and Northeast. 10 local governments are in the hands of ISWAP as you and I speak. Some local governments are in the hands of ISWAP in Zamfara, in Yobe. What are we talking about? They're not there. They're not there. 136 children taken away. They are not there. So they're not ruling the place. They're not governing the place.
They are not there, Doc. They are not there. But take note that this is a regime. It's a tenor of governance. This is not the whole of. This is not our life forever. I mean, it's just now we have.
Are you seeing into the future now? Are you seeing into the future? You know, because if those parts have been taken away, excised from Nigeria, are you saying the next government will go and bring them back?
Well, before then, there will obviously be some solutions. What we are saying is a.
I'm going to take you on. I'm going to take you on, Mark. I'm going to take you on. Some local governments were taken by Boko Haram during the time of Jonathan. As we speak, after 6 years, Buhari has not been able to take them back. In fact, they have entrenched themselves stronger than 6 years ago. So how will the next administration, if there is anyone in 2023, how will they take them back? I'm just asking.
How will they take them back? This is why we have to all sit down at the round table and come to come to a one-on-one agreement with ourselves. You know why we are having this, Doc? Why this whole thing is escalating is because Buhari's government has not owned up to the lapses. The government is looking at it from a very different angle. Once they stand up, all the media, government people, once they all stand up, we will begin to see solutions. Once they say, let us sit down and talk about this. Believe me, there is a solution to all this.
Okay, let's give Mazi Gostin a quick chance there. Gostin, he said the Abdul Hakim said that the national government has lost it, and that the Southeast leaders have lost it because they are keeping quiet in the face of hoodlums in the Southeast. To what extent will you agree with that? That Southeast leaders are particularly not doing anything to stop this killing of people, and will you agree?
Well, I did say it in my last comment. If you listen to what I said earlier in my last comment before this section, I said it clearly that the whole agenda happening in the Southeast is as a result of infiltration. It's as a result of political marginalization. It's about conspiracies among even the Igbo politicians who are working hand in hand with certain northern politicians to create the insecurity and the divide in the Southeast, as a matter of fact. And it is a very obvious situation. And I want to say this very clearly. What the Northern Elders scribes just said is very clear and obvious. And the fact here is that there is a very big and open divide between the Northern conservatives and the Northern liberals. Between the Northern hardcores and the softcore Northern influencers in the North. And this agenda, even though people are hiding under the veil of ignorance about it, is the fact that there is an overtone to redefine the narratives of the phrase Hausa Fulani. There is nothing like Hausa Fulani. What we have is Hausas and the Fulani Bororugis. But because the powers that be has influenced their identity over the less powerful ethnic groups of the North, by making it feel that the only way the North can be relevant in the national politics is to be regarded and referred to as Hausa and Fulani. Why?
One important question, Mazi, do you think Biafra or the Igbos or the Southeast will leave this time now? Whether by simple separation or by secession, do you think it will happen? Just that question, because we have to move on.
Well, obviously it will happen if that becomes an absolute resolution of the people, that becomes the case in
there is no referendum in the Nigerian constitution. Abdul Hakim said there is no referendum.
Yeah, but if that is not the case, then it becomes a challenge situation to succeed in a country where
you are answering that question with if. I said, is it going to happen or not? But you are answering it with if. It appears that it's not going to.
I have to. There is no way you can give it an absolute answer because of the conditions that are going on in the country. Like the spokesman for the Elders Northern Forum said, there is a huge divide in the Southeast about secession or separation or going away as Biafra. There is no common agreement, even with the socio-cultural groups and the political elements and the business elements in the Southeast. So that's for you to have such.
Thank you very much. I have to move on quickly. In the Southwest, there's a man called Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, who is more popular than all the governors of Southwest put together. It appears that the Oduduwa nation is gathering momentum. and the governors are appearing like Lilliputians, where Sunday Igboho is becoming the giant here. Look at his entry into Ekiti State and tell me if there is any governor who could pull this crowd together, or even all the Southwest governors put together. Let's see, look at his entrance or his entry into Ekiti State.
Brother Island are black. Navy blue check. Jakama. 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 That's it, though. That's it, though. I'm that you are confused. The love is too much. 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 Jakama. Jakama. Let's go.
Wow. I don't think any Southwest governor can put that kind of crowd and the frenzy and Nat. In 1 minute, what do you think has happened to the Southwest people?
Well, the Southwest people are divided, ever divided. What you saw, what we saw is what coming immediately to my mind. The individual called Sunday Adeyemo or Sunday Igboho. When it comes to this one is street politics or street people on the street politics. When it comes to real issues of governance or sitting down to talk about the unity of Nigeria, about integration, about moving Nigeria forward, will Sunday Igboho be able to sit among maybe the Southwest governors and discuss?
But he's supported by people like Professor Banji Akitoye, but he's not even contesting election. It's just that
Papa Adebanjo said no succession. Nobody is going anywhere. You have to stay here.
I mentioned Banji Akitoye.
Yes, and I said there is another Papa Adebanjo who is saying no succession. They have to talk. The issue is to talk, and not to talk.
Papa Adebanjo was berated by Alaafin of Oyo, saying that you people are hypocrites. The video is all over the place.
Is Alaafin not a hypocrite himself? Alaafin is a hypocrite.
Well, so let me, in 30 seconds, Mark, you think Southwest is also thinking of Odua Nation seriously? Are they taking it seriously?
Very serious, Doctor. Very, very serious. I mean, you can see from the reaction on last Saturday, how Ekiti State went agog with hundreds of thousands of people agitating for the Yoruba Nation. The Yoruba Nation, the Ileano Omoodua.
It's called, no, let me help you. No, let me help you. Ilano. Okay, good.
Ilano Omoodua.
Yes, that's the word.
Yes. The agitation is moving very, very strong. Being led by the popular Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemo, as we call him, Sunday Igboho. The West is I see more unity in the West if there will be a succession. I see that even if you have 1 or 2, 3 oppositionists that probably don't believe in it, but I see more unity because first of all, the reaction to this Sunday Igboho all over this Western region is amazing. All parts he goes, he is welcome. And like you said, some prominent Yoruba leaders, Southwest leaders are also with him. They believe in him. They are following him. Okay. So I see a more united force if they will get it together. But Dr. Nat has also...
All right, Mark. I think I don't know how far-fetched Odua Nation will still be, but we're keeping an eye on it. Let Mazdi Gossi comment on this video. This was a video by Hope Uzodinma. You remember the man who came forth but the Supreme Court says it should be the governor of Amos State. Since then, he has not been able to govern the country. He has had so many challenges but he's talking tough now. Watch this video.
Yes.
I'd advise that traditional rulers should warn these boys, even though most of you have refused to reveal their names. You should warn them, because I'm bringing a security strategy, known and unknown, to manage security in Imo State. The work of this council is not only to organize the security or vigilante group. This council must now go home and get us names of every criminal in their communities. You must collect intelligence for us. You must collect intelligence for security agencies to work. But I can assure you that the opposition party and some aggrieved members of our party who are hiring boys from neighboring states to come in here, allow me, I will deal with them. I can assure you, leave that for me. So the people who threatened that will make Imo ungovernable, before Imo becomes ungovernable, they will be ungovernable themselves.
Mazi, in 30 seconds, what will be your comment?
This is simply to tell you the kind of people we have in governance. Unconstructive, less intelligence, highly undiplomatic, insensitive, and lack what I call public speaking skills and body language ability to manage human community.
Do you think we will be successful? Will it be successful?
To tell you, like I said in my previous statements, Gopu Zodima is one of the orchestrators of this the high level of insecurity in Imo State.
Will he be successful in his new business?
He's just, all this thing is just rhetorics. He's simply putting more.
That's where we have to leave today's program.
He simply put more fuel in the fire that is already burning badly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have been viewing from about 2 hours ago, we want to thank you very much. Unfortunately, time has not permitted us to go on more than this. Next week, we are sure to bring you the latest happening not only in Nigeria, not only in Africa, but all over the world. It's my duty to thank my colleagues all the way from Milan, Mark, and here in England, from Peterborough, we thank Gustin Azu, my colleague in London, Nat Iyakwa. Thank you very much. And of course, in the studio, we have to thank all our ladies and gentlemen. From France, we have Grace. Thank you, Anthony and Hazel and all saints. And of course, finally, we thank our executive publisher, Dr. Alita Shoyode. Until next Wednesday, when we bring you the latest, my name is Shaggy Johnson, and God bless you all.